Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling coherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with The Outer Worlds Blind.
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker, by the by. Don't mind the heat. Got a few days before it reaches critical. I'm sure Miss Chief Tennyson will get it sorted before then. Still reviewing your manifest. Why not head on over to the promenade? Lots to keep you occupied there. Still reviewing your
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Just as I remembered.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses? He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little back bay brat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this. I need a drink.
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
I noticed you were in the middle of an argument earlier.
Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs.
I heard you. It's almost like that card threatened to toss you out of an airlock.
Yeah. He's like the rest of those bored jackasses. All bluster, no grit. All you gotta do is square your shoulders and stand up to him. Board ain't accustomed to disobedience.
What exactly did you do?
Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting.
And that's why when you resolved... oh boy.
Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation.
Got any plans?
Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. Other than that, can't say as I do. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
Why do you ask?
Oh, just musing is all. Must be nice having the run of the colony. Never being anchored to one place, always chasing some horizon. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time.
Never got your name. I'm Matthias Stone.
Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
See you around.
See you around, boss.
Just arrived? Head over to Customs. Wheeler needs to process you. Just arrived? Head over to Customs. Wheeler needs to process you. You learn to keep your eyes to yourself in my job. Nobody wants you looking close at their cargo. We move cargo 16 hours a day, and half of us still can't afford a bed.
Restricted access. Authorized personnel only. I can't actually get in there. And wanted, Phineas V. Wells, for various crimes and violations of board policy, including any and all of the following: sedition, forgery, conspiracy to commit conspiracy, unlicensed medical practice, destruction of board property.
Quite the impressive list of infractions.
Wanted, Gunnar MacRed, for several counts of public intoxication, destruction of Groundbreaker property, unpaid docking fees, and resisting arrest. Contact Commandant Stetina if you have any information concerning MacRed's whereabouts. Failure to report a tip may result in imprisonment and a fine. Proof of a kill required to collect reward.
I wonder what that fella did to get the board so wild at him.
Just arrived? Head
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Yeah, sure. I'll be there shortly. However, bolter pistol, level 5. I'll buy some drinks, specifically some non-alcoholic drinks, because I don't want to get addicted to alcohol, which I imagine is probably a mechanic. It was already in Fallout New Vegas.
Identification, please.
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, I don't have an ID. What happens then?
Everybody's got an ID. Oh, let me guess. You, left it in your other pants? I hear that one a lot.
Well, here we go.
Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side. Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably.
How do I get this resolved?
You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it.
Any idea why my ship was impounded?
Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important.
I'll talk to him and straighten this out.
You take the starch out of him, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor?
sure.
Wanda Dorset over in sickbay. Tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it.
Got it. Her shipment?
A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling.
Got it.
Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Can I find a job around here?
Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. Two biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though.
How does Halcyon Holdings work, anyway? I'm looking for something a little more local.
Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
Got it. How about something long term?
If you're thinking to make a career here, don't waste your time. Full-time jobs on Groundbreaker tend to be inherited, or go to a fellow crew member's kid. Keep it in the family, you know.
How does Halcyon Holdings work, anyway?
Are you pulling my leg?
I'm new around here. I just want to hear your take on it.
Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the Board.
So there's actually a boardroom somewhere with all of those company heads in it?
Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself.
And the board runs most of the system, don't they?
Yep. Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing bays. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year.
How does Groundbreaker fit into all of that?
Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are.
Got it.
Glad to help.
What do you know about Sublight Salvage?
They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them.
I didn't think there were many independent operators in the system.
Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either. All right.
I'm looking for someone named Gladys.
The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly.
What can you tell me about Udom Bedford?
He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison.
So there's tension between Groundbreaker and the board.
They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this colony. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them.
I'm glad it terrifies them, the bastards. Keep pushing them.
It's a delicate balance, right? We could cancel their freighters' docking privileges in retaliation, but where'd that lead us? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new Groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we may do all right. So far, anyway. Sure thing.
I'm looking for a drink. Any recommendations?
Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar on the starboard side. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. She'll set you right. You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want anyone saying Groundbreaker's not the most hospitable port in the colony. Be seeing you.
Move along.
Quest objective requires you to enter a restricted area. If you're caught inside, you will be shot on sight. Using a disguise will prevent immediate hostilities.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the Scholar shipped in and out with.
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was coming from Monarch.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. You were hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice said his name was Graham?
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters. Now I've heard everything.
You know, it takes more muscles to frown than to smile.
I'll wait with this.
Graham?
Asshole.
Because maybe I'll get the necessary papers to actually get inside.
Huh?
Well, where are their hostiles? Bard.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed. The board's embargo ensures that nothing can leave the planet and threaten our hard-working citizens. You've been listening to Halcyon News, your mandated duty as a good citizen of Halcyon.
Terror on Monarch. Alright. Halcyon News. Chairman salutes Earth Minister Clark. Chairman Rockwell took time out of his busy schedule today to talk to us about Minister Clark and his impact on the colony. Working with Minister Clark has been truly wonderful these past 8 years. His predecessor did a fine job, but Clark's brilliance cannot be overstated. The early retirement program is just the latest in a long line of initiatives he has spearheaded that will ensure Halcyon continues to be an envy of all the outer colonies. Couldn't agree more, Mr. Chairman. Media circus surrounds circus-time clowns. The politics of Tosbal have grown increasingly turbulent as of late, with the circus-time clowns trading out every single member of the team. Asked to comment on the upheaval, the Owners' League released a statement saying that the clowns' failure to reach the finals was a deciding factor in their organizational rearrangement. When questioned about the values of the overhauled team, a representative for the clowns stated that their goals remain the same as ever: toss, ball, win, repeat.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Now with 12% more crunch. Rizzo's Purple Berry Punch. You want a punch? We've got your punch right here. Rizzo's Lemon Slap. Slap your whole family tonight. Rizzo's Spectrum Vodka. Aftertaste the rainbow. Rizzo's Mock Apple Cider. A hard cider for a hard life.
Didn't the board rep's office used to be in the docking bays?
Yeah, about 10 years back. That was before Bedford negotiated for a bigger office on the promenade.
Must be good at his job.
Better than the last. Between you and me, though, he works twice as hard for himself as he does for the board.
Prerogative of management. Still, there's a lot more corporate ships in the bay these days. If you're not crew, you're little people. Wish we had bigger weapons, but no. Be careful about blowing holes in the hull. Why do we let people more heavily armed than us on board? So far as you know, I'm not drinking on duty.
Ooh, can we rent an upstairs room?
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed? Talk to your local manager about applying for military training and lend your life to protecting our wonderful brands and products. Military service does not guarantee full employment rights, tax breaks, military discount, health benefits, military burial, participation medal, training, or weapon. This has been Halcyon News, your only source for news in the Halcyon colony.
Wait, if military service doesn't even guarantee training or a weapon, then what's the difference between enlisting as a soldier and not doing that?
How do you do? And welcome to the Rest and Go. We used to be the Go and Rest, but folks never knew when to leave. Sorry. Business has been slow. Anything to occupy the time.
Do you do business with the prominent merchants?
Of course. Most of our supplies come and go through merchants. Company ships and salvage runs are the only traffic we tend to get. I try and steer clear of that creepy fellow in the moon mask. If there's a cost to being a company man, he paid it in spades.
How's life on the Groundbreaker?
Fine, as long as the board keeps its grubby mitts to itself. Chief Tennyson holds the ship together, the Promenade holds our economy together, and Sublight is the shoddy jewel in our rusty old crown.
You mentioned Sublight.
Our local garbage collectors. That Lilia Hagen never met a debris field she didn't like. She freely admits she planted her roots in Groundbreaker to escape board oversight. But I think there's more to it. She's unusual in the head, that one.
How does Groundbreaker keep the board at bay?
Our Chief Tennyson has an independent streak, same as her mother and grandmother who rode this ship on the crossing. There's a reason the board's embassy is a glorified shoebox. While Junlei Tennyson lives and breathes, Groundbreaker remains free.
I'm looking for Gladys.
Oh, you can't miss her. Right behind you, number 2. First unit on the left, or second unit from the right, depending on which direction you count from.
This is Halcyon News. Regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Tossball finals are scheduled to air soon, but a scandal has rocked the league and thrown this pivotal game into question. Both teams have tested negative for performance-enhancing stims. A tossball first.
That's funny.
Coaches and referees are debating how and if this behavior could lead to an unfair advantage. This story brought to you by Halcyon News. All the news that's fit to broadcast.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was this your room? I'll just move along. Wait, this is almost certainly my room. That's my underwear on the floor. Damnable thing about living on a space station. No pigeons to feed. Oh, you can feed the sprats, sure enough. But then the neighbors start moaning about hygiene. Now see here, what was I doing again?
Oh, it's trash. So I'm legally allowed to take it.
Move along. Hey.
There are vents.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient, or an oven. Just like store-bought.
Actually, what do you have to sell?
Won a charming copper kettle off that girl who runs the pub. She's a fierce arm wrestler. But she's no match for your pal Gladys.
To be honest, not much. Actually. Modded datapad. Oh. It can be viewed on the captain's terminal. Sure, I can buy that. This old datapad contains incident reports from various modded security patrols. Most of the details are simple finds or dust-ups between the crews of Wildcat freighters and corporate haulers. 2 entries have been marked for a later review. August the 7th, 2344, responded to a code at Lost Hope. Vera asked us to bounce some Back Bay rat that got himself soaked in Spectrum Red. Drunken fool got into a scuffle with one of the engineer Tennyson's people. We tossed the Ragleach down to the base. Asshole fought us the entire way, telling us we'd be sorry once he controlled the Hammer's power. If this is some new Hammersmith marketing stunt, I'm complaining to Sanita. October 25th, 2344, had another run-in with the Ragleach from the Lost Hope. Don't know how the uppity piker crawled up out of the back base without us noticing. Locked himself up in the repair bay of off of docking ship 13 and refused to come out. Kept raving about the weapon's chaotic beauty or some such shit while we were trying to talk him out. Had to break off when our shift ended. Hellhead's gotta come out eventually.
I picked up some weird chatter on my way in. Seemed to come from Monarch? This place has a smell, right? It's not just me, like mold and old socks?
Okay, I'll crawl into that vent. Why not?
Understood. I'll keep my head down.
Seems to be someone here. I think I heard someone. Unless it was my companion, I guess. Restricted area. I'll leave it be for now. If I don't find the necessary ID, then I'll try it at the end before I leave this place. In the Squatter's Journal, I served on 2 corporate freighters before I got stranded here. Everyone's heard my sub-story, but no one's listening. To them, I'm just background radiation. Wasn't my fault the captain decided to take off early. Wasn't my fault no one checked the crew manifest. Wasn't my fault they replaced me with a full-timer. Now I'm filthy, bitless, and bedless. As far as anyone's concerned, I'm Groundbreaker trash. That's how I live. And if no one agrees to take me on as crew, I suppose that's how I'll die.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Remember Auntie Cleo? Remembers you. When you were sick, who took your temperature?
You ever hard up for work? Try sublight salvage. Good pay if you're morally flexible.
Rest and Go guest terminal. Pay to view movies. Pay to view is restricted to diamond level guests, but feel free to peruse the catalog. Entertainment cartridges are available for rent at the main desk. My big canid friend. A lab-grown giant canid goes on an adorable rampage, leading a family of scientists on a wild chase across Emerald Vale. Spending the holiday away from home proves to be a chore, but the family soon realizes that true friends are the monsters you meet along the way. Rated FSR 11 for fun times, simulated rampage and a body count 11. Raised by wilderness primals, one man will leave the jungle he knows to explore the one he doesn't. Keystone. He came for Nanner's spank, but he stayed for love. Can a young corporate executive color this creature, or will she awaken the beast within? Rated Packens for passion anthropoid and consensual Nanner speaking. Baking with Edna. In this time-honored culinary classic, Chief Edna gives valuable life lessons while she cooks from the book of approved cakes. Learn to maintain a structured kitchen, obey your head chef, achieve a good sponge, and obey your sous chef. Edna is the boss in her kitchen, and now she can be the boss of yours. If the walls of the orbital hospital could talk, they'd shriek with terror. The doctors have seen it all. 0G cis-lancing extraterrestrial teratoma. Next, on a very special episode, in order to trap a chem thief, Dr. Margrave must become a serial arsonist. Don't forget to see the Space Hospital Nights for steamy suspense. An ordinary colony family daydreams of the extraordinary, while Lucia works up in the factory canning processed borscht. Her high-handed husband cooks up schemes to land her a big promotion. Will the lovable fool ever learn to be satisfied with what he has? Broderick's brood is a testament to less is success, family lifestyle. From Veritas, be careful. One of UB's squealers came out asking after you. Wanted to know what you like to drink, who you talk to, what your temperament's like. Tried to pay me off. I took the bits and told her a pack of lies. Watch your back when you get in. Don't want to find you in the waste disposal chute. I see. Been a while since I heard from you. You're on that long haul out to Dashkova right now. Hope it goes well. I got a space for you and yours to meet when you get back. It's just a storage room, but it's quiet and safer than the bar. Should be able to accommodate most of the folk. No fees or nothing, just let me buy you a beer. Mr. McRed, we have reviewed your proposal for the 10th time and still do not agree that galactic mushroom is an acceptable flavor for a Rizzo beverage. Even if we were to pursue the idea, the samples you sent us were dangerously hallucinogenic. The unopened package alone caused mayhem in our receiving bay. Please do not reach out to us again.
Gracious. I was just sitting down for tea.
Phineas sent me. He said you could sell me a nav key to Stellar Bay.
Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in.
Any chance of a discount since Phineas sent me?
Phineas, that old kook. He was quite the dancer back in his prime, did he tell you? Real light on his feet. Real light in the wallet, too. He still owes me a small fortune. Laws. Maybe I should charge you double.
Tell me about that opportunity.
Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms...
Well, I at the very least want to hear the details.
Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago.
Why was it abandoned?
Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't be got into a spot of trouble.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing around.
Maybe it's some sort of an automated message?
Edna didn't seem to think so. and I trust the dear girl's judgment. Well, maybe not in men, but she knows her comms. So, like as not, someone's been down there recently. And if someone set up shop in Roseway, I'd wager they got something to hide.
If it's a corporate town with something to hide, why the SOS?
Maybe whatever they're hiding went to heck, and now they need a few spare hands to clean up the mess. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs.
So you need to someone to snoop around for you.
My goodness, aren't you quick on the uptake? I like that. Should you find yourself responding to a certain distress call, and in so doing find yourself in possession of certain valuable corporate secrets, well, then we ought to have a chat over a pot of tea and my famous cookies.
I'll stop by if I find anything.
Law bless your atoms. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done.
What other jobs do you know about?
Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. She's been trying to get a handle on this heat problem we've got. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl, but law forfend someone call me a liar.
I wanted to ask you something else.
What do you want, then? My hard-earned wisdom?
Why did the board recall Stellar Bay nav keys?
Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on account of all the monsters on Monarch desperate to gobble you up. Because that's what the board tells them, you see. I think they made some fool mistake that would make them look bad to the rest of the colony, and they're trying to hide the evidence.
What do you do here? What makes you think that?
Those board folk are real prideful-like. Never want you looking behind the curtain, lest you see their derrieres. But old Gladys knows the score. The whole colony's not much more than a diorama, showcasing one board screw-up after another. That's why we gotta keep them from getting their grubby mitts on Groundbreaker. She's our mess.
Are there still people down there?
Probably. Every once in a while, we get these snippets of radio chatter. Edna shows them to me. Some man hooting and hollering about the light in us all. Claims he's transmitting from Monarch, but who knows if that's true. Might be true. Might be some new trick from the board.
What do you do here?
Oh, a little of this, a little of that. I buy and sell items that require discretion to dispose of. Knickknacks. Curios. I also knit throw pillows stuffed with the hair of famous tossball players. But that's more of a passion project.
I'm not sure that's entirely legal.
That's half the reason I make them, my dear. But that's not what you wanted to talk about, is it, dear?
What's this about the heat?
Groundbreaker's radiators. Been neither fine nor dandy for weeks now. Miss Junlei's supposed to be getting them fixed, but the board's determined to get in her way.
How do you mean?
The board can't abide a community that won't bend to its will. They've always got one scheme or another running, looking for ways to bring us to heel. Like this heat business. Shameful. But it won't work. No, sir. Groundbreaker's free till the day she dies, law willing.
You mentioned Groundbreaker's outside of the board's control.
That's right, dearie. The only independent station in the colony. That's us. Though for how long, I can't say. That all depends on Miss Junlei.
How do you mean?
The board can't abide a community that won't bend to its will. They've always got one scheme or another running, looking for ways to bring us to heel. But it won't work. No, sir. Groundbreaker's free till the day she dies, law willing. Go right ahead, sweetheart. Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Here, take a candy with you.
Oh, that's nice of you. Spacer's Choice Vendor. Wow, that's a seriously creepy mask. I didn't even recognize this guy as human at first. I thought this was some kind of a monstrous corporate robot. I'll just quickly drop into...
I know she's in there, Mfuru. You can't get me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene.
Let's go. What's going on?
I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene? See, Mfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me talk to Jessie in the first place.
What's this about your friend?
Let me get one thing straight. Jessie and I are not friends. I just owe her, okay? As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors.
Maybe I can look in on Jessie?
Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureaucracy, I'll be impressed.
What seems to be the problem?
Can I buy supplies from you? You seem well stocked.
Not without dispensation from Chief Junlei, I fear. Supplies are hard to come by out here.
How do you mean?
We don't have the ability to manufacture our own medical supplies here on Groundbreaker. Regrettably, we are dependent on the board for such mundane items as bandages and antibiotics, as well as more critical resources like adequately trained staff. We'd nearly signed a supply agreement with Anti-Cleos, but they demanded we only use their branded drugs, and that's simply not tenable.
I'd like to see Jessie Doyle.
If only my other patients had so many inquiring after them. I'll tell you what I've told the others. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. The requests of our patients are paramount, so no, you may not see her.
The records say, have you actually spoken to her yourself?
She's not my patient. I'm certain no one on my staff would falsify patient records, if that's what you're implying. Take care.
Med bays for crew only. Sorry. Freighters got to see their ship's sawbones. Dr. Dorset's a deft hand with a blade. Hardly leaves a scar. Still haven't found a good way to get the blood out from under my nails. Now, where'd that patient run off to? Mind your steps. There's puddles. How long till the new Automex arrive? I hope those Automex get here soon. Miss Doyle isn't having any visitors. Even friends. You want something, you'll need to ask the doctors. I just work here. Pardon me.
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it you're a freighter captain? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery service.
Wheeler says your shipment won't be coming in soon.
He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into another scrape. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service mechanicals at this rate.
Who's Irion?
Our delivery man. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes by dates, usually by bandits.
What do you mean need the mechanicals for?
Surgery mostly. Medical personnel are difficult to come by on Groundbreaker.
Why is that?
The board won't let their doctors and nurses station here, and they own all the medical schools. If we can't hire their people, we can't hire anyone.
Everyone on staff here on Groundbreaker was trained by me or Idris. We're good, don't get me wrong. But we've only 2 heads between us, and we don't know everything.
I could try to find him.
I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start, were I the adventuring type. You look out, though. The place is probably crawling with outlaws. Keep hanging around, and I'll begin to think you're here for me. What can I do for you? You have yourself a day, then.
Now, where'd that patient run off to? I can't hardly think with Dr. Fenhill's yelling.
In patient's medical chart, patient experiences unusual side effects post-hibernation after his latest voyage, complains of longer days and increased boredom, as if time itself is slowing down. I have never seen complications this severe, and I'm prescribing a high dose of stims. While I'm optimistic that I can address the symptoms, this still troubles me. I'm going to reach out to conveyor crews and some corp docs I know on Terra 2 for answers. I have learned that the interstellar crews call this condition skip flu, and everyone I asked says they know someone who had it. In extreme cases, they say the person's body and mind break down entirely. Bored medics, the few who bothered to reply, insisted that the patient was making it up to shirk their duties. I don't believe my patient is malingering, but how do I prove that when the board won't even review my evidence? Okay, this is restricted access as well. Marted ID cartridge. What? Why is it that just lying here? I must say, that's pretty weird. Will that work for this particular one? To be honest, I'll check that next time.
You been flying the outer system's route lately? Deader than a space caterpillar out there.
Traffic's down all over. Even the inners are holding on to their manufacture. Exports are way down.
I know one crew, their skip drive burned out. Couldn't get a new one for love nor money. Ended up selling the ship for scrap.
Rizzo's Purpleberry Flower candy shell around its sweet purpleberry flavored center. Suck it, chew it.
Ah, right. My ship is impounded. So how do I save? This notice has been posted to inform the captain and the crew that it has been impounded by the Groundbreaker Security and Customs on behalf of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation. Any inquiries related to the vessel and its status should be made to one Udom Bedford in the Halcyon office.
Hey there, you mind stepping back? This charming little ship's been impounded and I'm afraid I can't let you near it till it's not.
Can you help me get this cleared up?
I'd surely love to, but that's just not my bailiwick. You'll want to have words with our representative here from the board, Mr. Udom Bedford. His office is on the promenade.
Does it seem hot here to you?
I ain't felt so much as a tepid breeze in weeks. I hope Miss Chief Tennyson gets that fixed soon.
Well, it doesn't smell as bad here as Edgewater's graveyard in high summer, so guess I can't complain.
Either way, let's not stick around so long we all roast alive. No offense, Ms. Elson, I'm sure whatever critical problem needs fixing will get patched in time.
Whew. I'm starting to feel like a sisty roast in all this armor. Have yourself a pleasant day.
Yeah, but how do I save? If I can't go back to my ship. Also.
Wish they'd let us off station. Air up here is just recycled spacer farts.
Hey there. Be seeing you.
Like, I wonder, but I don't want to get into that without having a save. Yeah, it didn't save since the previous save on the ship, so that's a bit annoying.
Rizzo's knock you out bar. A CCN 76 milk chocolate bar with caramel and tea-free density. It's time for a KYO.
I was wondering what they do with their waste. I guess they just chuck it down here. Where's it all go? How about I stay up top? You know, keep watch.
Crumpled instructions. Frankie got a lead on some local salvage. One of Groundbreaker's old hangars was bricked over until someone found it by poking around Stevedar's quarters. Lilia gave us the go-ahead to plant her flag once we clear out new arrivals. I am sending you to scout. Look for a loose panel. You've got to climb on top under banks and head towards the back wall. Lilia said we should watch our backs. She thinks we're being tailed. In other words, typical Lilia.
Who wants to play an impromptu tossball match? No one? Really?
Hello? Is someone there? Help! I'm locked in here! Can you get me out? Anyone there? I can hear footsteps! Don't just leave me here!
Handled beautifully.
Thank you, stranger. Shit, ain't that a relief? You have no idea how good the air on Groundbreaker smells until you've been trapped in a tiny bathroom with an overflowing toilet. Thanks again, friend.
What happened?
What usually happens on this partially pressurized rust bucket? Something broke. Well, actually two things broke. First, the damn toilet overflowed. When I came to clean that up, the damn door decided to close and lock on me.
How long were you in there?
Time stood still. I was aware of nothing but the smell. Ugh, could have been days. Ah, shit. That means I haven't clocked out in days. Song is gonna have my ass for wage theft.
Good luck. Well, it's most likely shit.
Get ready.
Maintenance work order. Vera says the Lost Hope's plumbing is acting up again. Take a gander at the usual spot. While you're there, someone's locked their key behind the door. It's the locked one. Once you're ready for a challenge, come back and we'll discuss the radiators for the 100th time.
About your plan, Mr. Vicar.
Of course. The cosmos is generated and directed by the universal equation, also known as the Grand Plan. By contemplating the teleological order of things, one can achieve verity. Oh, right. You had a question?
Never mind. That about answers it.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants you on Groundbreaker.
These stairs are board property. Disperse now, or I'll detain you for trespassing.
Oh, real scary. You're really gonna arrest us on our station?
Yeah, this is Chief Junlei's ship. You don't own shit here.
Step back. I'm required by board bylaws to use excessive force.
The Mardettes would space you for trying, you waste of O2 scrubbers.
Yeah, O2 scrubbers.
Look, just get out of here before I tell your captain what you've been getting up to on the clock.
Whatever. We got a date at the Lost Hope anyway.
Is this really what you want to be doing with your life, Marcy? Guarding stairs for that walking mustache Udon fucking Bedford? I gotta get off this detail.
Yeah, and I gotta save.
This man, reward offers for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
But I don't know how.
P. Borstworst. It's not the worst unless it's Borstworst. Have you...
I can travel to the docking bay, but I still can't save unless I'm on my ship.
Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Vinny's Wells. Report
This is Halcyon News.
XF411s? And an old Yakita 37? You think they'd let me peek at the power plant?
Thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a sub-level.
Food shortages.
I could spend all day in here and not have looked at half the best stuff.
The far
It's all
side
pretty boring.
Halcyon have tailored their product lines to be selective to the refined customer.
Where the hell have you been, Private? You've missed 3 shifts without notice.
I was fixing that toilet you sent me to repair. The one above the Lost Hope?
That was days ago.
The fucking door! It locked behind me. And it wasn't until this freighter captain found me that I...
You're lucky the chief would have my ass if I spaced you. Now get back to work, Private.
Right away, sir.
Maybe it'll save upon traveling back. Maybe it did. To be honest, I'm kind of scared. To check that. But it's still passage to anywhere. Rather than... If it gave me the hour of the save, then I could check it, but it doesn't. I'll risk it. Okay, so it was actually before traveling back. Alright, so at least there is that. I can end it here. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.